Hello YouTubers and welcome to another episode of the vlogs. As you can tell from the title, we're talking about race, pace, 8 rowing and race plans. Because believe it or not, there are actually plans that we try and stick to throughout a race for those of you that haven't been able to participate in a rowing race yet.
I'm tired, I'm having to sit down, lads.
The Junior Doubles Challenge Cup.
Everyone seems to have a race plan. Robson, would you say everyone has a race plan usually?
Yes.
Our race plan's important.
Yes, very important.
Why?
Because it's not who can go the fastest off the start, it's who can go the fastest from the start to the finish. So you need to control everything and make sure that you're not just blowing your load way too early.
So it's helping with the consistency over a longer distance rather than just hitting 101s and then seeing what happens.
Come on, Jack, yeah. Pushing off, ready to go.
Hopefully you enjoyed a little bit of yam there on the 8th, a little bit of race pace stuff as we go into Marlow Regatta, some prep for this weekend. But talking about race plans, what are they for? Why do you have a race plan? Well, it's so, like we said, it's so you can sort of be consistent and be organized, so a flashing light, through the race itself, so you're ready and so you know what to do when it is race time. So that when it is actually race time, it's no longer about, okay, what do I do here, what do I do there, although that is the plan itself, but it's more about everything becoming automatic and there isn't too much thinking. So it's about practicing the plan as well. So let me know in the comments below what sort of your race plan involves. But when I was at university, our race plan was almost the fly and die method. To give it full yam for as long as possible and then see what happens. And then so that was only a couple of years into my rowing career, and then as I've rowed for a bit longer, we've ended up just doing sort of a more mature race plan and then just adding different bits here and there. But let me know what you guys do in your race plans, if it's any different to a fly and die method or moving at the 750 or the 1250 or the 1500 or something like that. But now, after the session, as always, it's time to fuel up because food is fuel. And we made it into the crew room to fuel up because, like I just said, in the boat bays, food is fuel. Got the breaded egg toast, the delicious fuel for this morning, as is the same every morning. We've got Rory here. Rory, how was the change?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Went pretty quick. Pretty happy with how the progress is going.
And we got to do some good yam. Oh yeah. But now, fueling up, a little bit of recovery, and then more about race plans. Oh yeah. And we've had a little bit of recovery time, just chilling out, getting ready for Marlow Regatta this weekend. We're talking about race plans. Rich, if you were to have an ideal race plan, how would it go? So for uni, I like the fly and die option, but we've changed that a little bit. What's your sort of ideal race plan?
It depends on the race, doesn't it?
Yeah, true.
If it's time trial, you just want to go as fast as you can from A to B.
Yeah.
You don't want to put any pushes in. You want to be on the red line the whole way.
Yeah.
If it's 6-lane race, you can almost do the same thing. Like stick to your plan, not really worry about anyone else. Or if it's a dual race, you do get an advantage by going out and taking the lead.
Yeah.
So depends on what you're doing basically.
But like you mentioned, like sticking to your own thing, especially in time trial and 6-lane. That's very important. So I've talked a lot about like you can't affect other people really. So you're kind of focusing on your own race plan, what's going on in your boat. But then, like you mentioned, like in dual racing, so for Henley Royal or any dual racing that you have, one by one, side by side each, you can affect people a little bit more, whether that's by being down or being up. So it changes a little bit there as well. So that's an interesting way of looking at it. I didn't really think of that. But it is, the race plan itself still applies to all races and can just change slightly. So when what would the difference be? So essentially in a dual race you would say try and go out harder, essentially try and get ahead.
A little bit harder, yeah. You're not doing the fly and die tactic like you would, or maybe you would. But yeah, you want to get a good clean start and try and go as fast as you can.
Because that's in 2013, that's what I was talking about, my Unit 8, we went out like with the flying down.
When you were here?
Yeah, and for Henley. We went out, so essentially our strategy would be go out at 110, didn't matter in the conditions, and try and hold it for as long as possible. And then when you couldn't hold it, like hold the next closest split. And so for our final in 2013, we were up by probably a length open, and we lost.
I was talking to Mason the other day actually, who was in the other boat that rode through them, and he was saying that their wind at the end was the fastest he reckons he's ever gone in an 8. They were like 48 at the end.
No, but so we were 2 lengths up, and the crew came through us.
He said that you led them until the last 200 meters probably.
Yeah.
And they were rate 48 because they'd raced the World Cup previously, whenever it was, a couple of weeks before. And then they got rode through by the French because they got really short at the end.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so they were like, right, all we need to work on is running as long as we can at the end. And then, but they did that.
Yeah, then they went 48. But that's so that like kind of talks to you about your plans. Like we were up by a lot, but you can still lose if you're up by that much. Edward, race plans.
I'd say it's boat dependent as well as race dependent. When I was sculling in my single, I don't know whether I probably wasn't experienced enough to have a race plan, but I don't think I really did have a race plan. It would mainly be like a first 500 plan and then last 500 plan. And then in the middle I was just trying to go as hard as I could. So not really I wasn't really trying to focus on everyone else, because I think in a single, different to an 8, there's such a turn of speed that you could put a 10-stroke push in a single, and you can gain that back, but then you lose it as well.
Yeah.
But like if you put too much in.
But in an 8 you can't.
In an 8, it cruises at quite a constant speed, and if you do put a push in, it maybe goes a split quicker if you're lucky. So I don't know. It's different. It's different.
And obviously we've been racing. Where did Big Jimmy's disappeared? Oh no, it's over there. So obviously we were racing in the 8, so we're looking at that, trying to keep that consistent speed going, and that's what we've been sort of working on, making sure we're sticking to what we're doing, sticking to what we're training. And like I said, spoke about yesterday about those hardest ergs, try to work out and do what we're doing in the races from the things that we've learned in those hardest ergs and hardest workouts. But that will be it for today's episode, Yam Squad. Let me know in the comments below what you're thinking your race plan would be, or if there's any other sort of adjustments that you would make in a race plan, whether it's to do with the boat, to do with the race itself, or anything else. And as always, remember to subscribe if you haven't already, hit that like button, and have a good one.